What is going on? Good. Hey, I gotta stop saying that. I feel like I say the same thing every time, and it feels weird. Stop. Good people, what is going on? I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it. I ain't gonna be Enzo Amore. I'm gonna switch it. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Time for your SummerSlam 2017 review, and I know we all have some thoughts after the show, after the 4-hour show, 4-hour extravaganza with the 2-hour pre-show. The pre-show was actually pretty freaking good. Besides the 6-man tag match that I fell asleep on that I would replace anyway. I'm just saying that match, it was there, and I was like already tired, and I think I fell asleep on it, and I realized that The Miz pinned Jason Jordan, and then that was about it for me on that match. I don't know if it was
Who won?
The Miz and the Miz Taraj won.
Oh, okay.
As they should if they want to make them like a legitimate, like somewhat of a faction. But this was definitely, I don't know how good this match was. I'm going to be honest. I saw like bits and pieces of it, and then I saw The Miz come in and win. So it obviously was a great match because The Miz won, and then that's how I feel. Casey, did you get a chance to watch this match or no? Or were you like nope to the pre-show tonight?
The only match I saw on the pre-show was the tag team championship match that shouldn't have been on the pre-show.
True.
So when we
that should have been the opener.
Yeah, when we get to that, I'll talk about it. But
okay, Brandon.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I did not watch one single second of the pre-show.
That sucks because the pre-show was actually pretty decent.
I know, because I heard about it when I got over to my buddy's house. He told me the pre-show was really awesome, and I was like, well, "Crap!" And I got distracted. I was binge watching some old episodes of The Office. Yeah. And I got distracted, and I said, "Holy crap! It's 7:30." So I had to run over and watch the show because I forgot it didn't come on at 8.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, that happened to me at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. But thing is, like, yeah, man. So I actually didn't see the first 2 matches on the actual card.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Yes, but I did catch up on it. Saw some highlights and clips from the first couple matches.
Well, moving on to the second match of the pre-show, I guess. We had Neville versus Akira Tozawa for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I
got the prediction correct.
You did. I was still in my waking up period, but I was excited to watch this match. It was definitely good, as usual, as expected. Shouldn't have been on the pre-show. Akira Tozawa looked really good with that title. I'm not gonna lie. When he came out with the title, doing his whole war cry thing, he looked really good. It fit him well as far as like just the look of it and everything. He looked really good in that title, and I was starting to change my mind on Akira Tozawa. And then Neville won, and I was like, okay,
he wasn't on the Neville level.
He wasn't. He obviously wasn't on the Neville level. I'm curious to see how this is gonna go, though. I really am. As far as who's gonna beat Neville? Like, yes, Akira Tozawa did beat Neville, but is he gonna get the title back, or is it gonna be someone else who finally takes the title from Neville for good? This was definitely a good match. And for the pre-show, definitely a good match. And I think we've become accustomed to seeing the Cruiserweight Championship in general on the pre-show, unfortunately. But Neville won, and I was excited. I was actually cheering for Neville. Sometimes I try to take myself out of, the analyzing everything and kind of just watching it as a fan and cheering for one side and just cheering my butt off. And that's what I was doing in this match. And I was like, come on, Neville! And then freaking Akira Tozawa, when he went for that senton and Neville put his knees up, oh my, no. Neville ends up winning with the red arrow to the back. And Neville is your new WWE Cruiserweight Champion.
Yep, that was a very short reign by Tozawa. I have to say, guys, this is just my thought, and I'm not a wrestling writer, wrestling booker, or anything, but why in the hell would you take a belt off somebody who held the belt almost the entire year and loses the belt on Monday Night Raw on the go-home show to SummerSlam, and then gets it back in a freaking pre-show match on SummerSlam 6 days later? Can anybody answer this question?
I
don't understand.
like I said before, like I said in the prediction show, it would have made for a bigger moment if he would have lost it at SummerSlam. To be
Yeah,
honest, you know, like I mean, especially for Tozawa, and you know, everybody's trying to get at this Neville level per se. So it would have made more sense for him to lose at SummerSlam, but that's just me. And plus,
yeah.
like they've been building Tozawa up as far as with the Titus brand and everything. You know, going back and watching him from the beginning where he was just kind of there, and then joining the Titus brand and getting bigger and becoming more of a star and everything. Like they've been building him well, but I don't like that the climax was on Raw instead of the climax being on SummerSlam.
It seems like they've really had a fixation, especially going back to last summer since the split happened, of having championship titles change hands on Raw instead of
Yeah,
changing hands on the pay-per-views. Think
yeah,
about all the trading back and forth between Sasha and Charlotte last fall.
yeah,
When
and
you
I,
had,
and I definitely agree. And I've always said, especially recently, since the ratings have been such, and I said this in the prediction show as well, but since the ratings have been such a huge thing for WWE and like such a huge thing by everyone in the media and every internet wrestling fan and wrestling fan in general, that you know they put more importance on the you know the weekly shows, in my
Well,
opinion.
like, for me, for one, I have 2 points here, but like for one, I like when they do a title change on Raw or SmackDown and kind of give you that sort of free title change on free TV. But I don't think they should do it right before a pay-per-view. It completely ruins the pay-per-view. And also, I don't understand the point of what they did here. I If they were going to have Tozawa win, even if they were going to have him win on Raw, they should have had him retain, because we love Neville, but he's had the title long enough. There's not really much more he could do with the title. Taking the title off of him isn't going to take anything away from him. He's already a big star in 205 Live. His heel gimmick is still really over, so he can still continue with that. He doesn't need the title. I feel like it would help Tozawa a lot more.
To be honest, what they need to do, they need to have like somewhat of a spillover and have Neville be that first guy to kind of transition from 205 Live to maybe going for the Intercontinental title or the US title, which I'm trying to think of which one's on Intercontinental title. And the reason I'm saying that is so then it doesn't feel like, because I feel like the cruiserweights are on their own little island and
yeah,
you can't get off of it. I mean, it's kind of hard to get on. Ask Kalisto. So, like,
yep.
I feel
Well,
like
yeah. Well, I have to say, he does do some good lucha things every now and again.
that is true. I always love those good lucha things. But I feel like with Neville, if they have him kind of transition into the mid card, then it shows that these cruiserweights are more than just cruiserweights.
Absolutely, I agree 100% because, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but WCW did a really good job of that back in the day, where they would take the cruiserweights, and a lot of the cruiserweights, after they lost the cruiserweight championship or they got through feuding with somebody, they went on and they won the United States Championship, which was the number 2 belt in WCW at the time. And I just think, honestly, you brought up a great point, DJ. I think Neville as Intercontinental Champion or Intercontinental Championship contender, I think would elevate the Intercontinental Championship even further. And I think that he would be a good champion. He would be a great mid-card champion. I think he really could do a lot of good. And the thing is, like, now, you really think about it, who are your title contenders now and the cruiserweights? You got Neville's champion, Tozawa's one of the challengers. You have TJ Perkins, who's a heel.
Yeah, you got CJ Perkins, like basically everyone who's won the title already,
Uh-huh.
and maybe not Rich Swann because that was one in that group. Maybe
Cedric Alexander.
maybe Tony Nese the way they're booking him, and
Yeah.
maybe Cedric Alexander. But I think even Tony Nese is a step ahead of Cedric Alexander in my opinion.
Well, just think Austin Aries isn't even with the company anymore either.
Yeah.
The problem is they killed that roster. They completely destroyed it. I remember back when 205 Live first started, I think DJ and I both said on that roster, we felt at that time could easily be Cruiserweight champion. And they've just watered all of them down and just high roster to now there's maybe a handful be the champion.
But it's so funny how how WWE always craps on WCW and talks about how stupid they were and all the dumb mistakes they made. And history seems to repeat itself with WWE, where honestly, it's so crazy that WCW did so much better with cruiserweights than WWE has done. I mean, just look at back in the day when they had light heavyweights. You remember those days with Taka Michinoku and people like that?
Hey,
and they had
you shut your mouth about that light heavyweight title. Shut up.
Hey,
greatest title.
I'll finish my point. They did a good job with it at first, and then they completely all but threw the belt away after less than a year.
The thing with that is the only reason there ever was a light heavyweight title
is because it was a cruiserweight.
WCW.
Yeah.
Other than that, WWE would have never had any sort of weight or cruiserweight division at all.
Oh, yeah. They were just trying to keep up with WCW, and that's one of the few things WCW had over WWF when it came to, when you looked at, the thing that was always said about WCW and WWF, WCW had great undercard matches or opening matches, mid-card matches, but when they got to the main event stunk. WWF had terrible mid-card matches and terrible openers, but they had excellent main events. So I don't understand why WWE is so insistent on making cruiserweights almost like a watered down version of itself. Like last summer, I think we all can agree the Cruiserweight Classic was probably the absolute best thing WWE's put on in years.
Yeah, it was the best tournament they've done.
Best tournament they've ever done. I'll go and tell you already, it's going to blow the Mae Young Classic won't even compare. And, the United Kingdom Championship was really good too, tournament. But like I said, it's just, I don't know. It's something
the Mae
missing.
Young Classic will be really good, though.
Yeah, I don't know, because there's a lot of really good women in the Mae Young Classic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm being pessimistic because I don't know. Sometimes they hit the mark with the women's division, and then sometimes they miss it by a mile.
Like tonight?
Well, one of the matches I didn't like. One of them I did. We'll talk about that in a bit.
All right. Well, speaking of talking about that, I got one more match. The Raw Tag Team Championship match. Or SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, because LOL right. SmackDown. But it was on the pre-show. The Usos versus the New Day, which I was really surprised this match was on the pre-show just because it is the Usos and the New Day, like two of the more popular tag teams in the division, period, like in the entire tag team division, regardless of brand. But this was a good match as usual. I wasn't expecting anything less from it. The Usos came back and won the titles, and I was surprised. But the one thing I do like about having so many title changes is that you never know it does bring back an aspect of you not really knowing what's going to happen, because I wanted the Usos to win the titles back, but I didn't think they were going to, because there's been this standard in WWE over the past couple of past couple of years, I should say, where when you get the title, you hold it for a minute, especially over the past year. I feel like besides certain, obviously certain people and certain feuds and everything, but like I was surprised the Usos won. This was a good match, freaking really good match for the pre-show. Went on almost 20 minutes, so it was a really good match. The Usos got the titles back. They should have never lost them, to be honest, but whatever. Casey, since you
I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah. Casey, since you did get a chance to watch this match, any thoughts that you had?
I thought this was a great match.
But you also
I loved. I do.
But then they put on great matches.
I do.
They put on great matches, but you hate them. Sounds a lot like that.
I don't hate them.
Roman Reigns guy.
They just were champions for way too long, and it got annoying. Anyway, I love this match. I loved.
They were the most over tag team in the division. Period. They still are. Sorry, I mean it's a logical argument. They still are the most over tag team in the division. You put your most over guy as the
Usos
champion.
or the New Day?
In this
Wait. How many tag teams in the division that are actually pushed? Exactly. Anyway,
I mean, how many of them are actually over? Because I mean, I know we love the Ascension and the Vaudevillains, but they weren't getting over.
No, not at all.
Just saying.
How well were they being pushed? The Ascension was made into a Legion of Doom ripoff.
I didn't say they were being pushed. I said they weren't over.
Be over. The fans aren't just
not necessarily. Enzo and Cass weren't pushed, but they were over.
Enzo and Cass also were broken up too quickly.
Anyway, if I could finally get my thoughts out,
you can.
That'd be cool. But I did really like this match. I think it was Jimmy and Xavier Woods late in the match, just going back and forth with the hard forearms and punches. I love that. I was like, is this turning into an indie match? But in general, this match was way too good to be on the pre-show. There's no reason this match should have been on the pre-show. It should have, at the very least, opened the show. But yeah, definitely a good match. Also, just a random thought. I think, personally, I think the WWE needs to, when they have takeover pay-per-views with the big fours, they need to switch them and have the main roster show on Saturday and takeover on Sunday, because takeover is always so good that no matter how good the pay-per-view the next night is, I'm at least getting into it in the beginning, because they have to follow an amazing takeover. Personally.
Well, yeah. The thing is, like, honestly, I agree with you 100%. I think they should switch every now and again, not all the time, but every now and again, and have takeover on Sunday and have the main show on Saturday. Especially, the only time I really can think of a takeover not being as good as the actual main show was this past year's takeover in Orlando for WrestleMania. I thought WrestleMania was better. Kind of disappointed with takeover in Orlando, and I think all the rest of the takeovers have actually been very, very solid. And but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I do agree with you, Casey, by the way, on that.
Yeah, I don't think Orlando was terrible, but at the same time, I didn't get to watch it live because show. So I think that kind of took away from it too. Watch it live; it's so much better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can understand that completely. I kind of felt that way. I've seen a couple of shows live that really sucked. Like, if you watched on TV, it was boring as hell. But when you're there live, it's really cool. And I definitely, I think wrestling is one of the best forms of entertainment to see live in person.
Yeah.
But I have to mention really quick, I didn't see this match until I did watch the last, I think, couple minutes, last sequence. And I said before, and you guys remember this, that the Usos never should have lost the belts at Battleground back in July. And I think that they did the right thing putting the belts back on the Usos, but they never should have changed them in the first place. I was happy the Usos got the belts back. So I don't know how I don't know how, Casey, were you happy the Usos got the belts back?
Carry either way. I just thought it was a good match.
Oh yeah, definitely was a good match, and I agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To be completely honest, I forgot that New Day were champions again.
Yeah, well, like I said, the only reason I remember that game that they actually won the belts is because it was the best match of that card completely, and the rest of the show sucked. The rest of the show, that was the opener, and honestly, be honest with you, that should have been either the opener or the second match on the card, on the main card tonight, because it was such a good match. It was, like I said, 20-minute match. I really want to go back and watch the whole thing when I get a chance. I think it'd be worth it. But I'm glad I got to catch the finish, and I'm glad the Usos got the belts back, because I really think they've been one of the most entertaining things on SmackDown or in WWE since post WrestleMania.
All right, well, we should move on to the main card, which started out with John Cena versus Baron Corbin, which surprised me because I'm not used to seeing John Cena in the first match. But I I really didn't catch a lot of this match either because I was out walking with my dog, so I was watching everything on my phone, kind of lost in everything as well. So I was kind of watching it, kind of not. Um, I just know that Cena won, and I just I just think it's I think it's weird that Cena won just because Baron Corbin has basically lost everything at this point, and then loses again at SummerSlam. But I don't know. The build was going so well until like now, and not even until now. I'm not placing any of this blame on John Cena. It's till basically before now, like a little bit before now.
Oh, it took a hard left turn on Tuesday night. I mean,
Yeah.
it really, like, honestly, I thought it was all but set up that Corbin was going to get some redemption and beat Cena tonight, and it didn't go that way.
Yeah. But anyway, Casey, any thoughts on John Cena versus Baron Corbin?
I did not like this match. It felt like there was no point to it. You know, with Baron Corbin losing, like you said, he's lost everything, and now he loses again at SummerSlam. Like, continuously losing. We talked about in Takeover. It makes sense with his heel turn, his anger, and wanting that respect. Baron Corbin, it just doesn't make any sense. Why? Why is he losing everything? What? It's like they keep pushing him and then they just stop. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and we felt like he was going to do something good. Then he wins Money in the Bank. Is he going to lose all his steam again and have to, build up again? Like, I don't understand what the point of this was.
Definitely agree, Brandon. Did you have any thoughts, I guess, on the result?
Well, I have to say I was surprised. It was one of the more surprising results on this show for me personally, because I really thought there was no upside in Cena winning. Cena has done it all. Cena has actually lost. Well, tonight broke his 6-match losing streak at SummerSlam. And it also broke his losing streak, or his streak of great matches at SummerSlam tonight. Because really, in all the matches that he's lost at SummerSlam the last 6 years, all of them have been at least pretty damn good to great. And it's a shame. I really think that, I said, Corbin must have pissed in somebody's cornflakes, because I mean they pretty much all made him look like a damn idiot in the last couple days.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But moving on to our next match, which was for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, Naomi versus Natalya. This was, I feel like this match was good. I liked it. Going back and watching it again, I feel like they did a good job with each other. I think Naomi, being, I think, a dancer before this, has really used that to her advantage and within her moveset. And I was hoping, like I said in predictions, I was actually hoping for Natalya to win. Because I think with this heel persona that she's going with, kind of the Queen of Hearts thing, that aspect of everything, I've really been excited for her recently, more so recently than anything. But I'm definitely excited to see what they're gonna do with Natalya now, because this is like one of her first. This is her first like women's championship win. Obviously, she held the Divas title, but this is her first run as a women's champion. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with her, and kind of who she's gonna feud with while having the title. But Casey, any thoughts on the SmackDown Women's Championship match?
I did miss part of this match. Yes, it was my PP break. Yeah, I really had to go at this match. Sorry, Natty. Sorry, Naomi. It's nothing personal. From what I saw, this match was okay. I didn't think it was great, but definitely it was entertaining. I was very surprised that they actually gave Natty the win because in the past that they never really do anything good with Natty. She's always kind of character or mid card whatever women's division, but finally she's getting another title shot. I forgot what they said her last women or Divas Championship was, but it's been a while. DJ said this is her first actual championship, an actual title that means something and isn't a butterfly. Definitely, excited to see what they do with her with the title. Definitely, it was a good match. I'm gonna have to go back and kind of watch it again.
Brandon?
Brandon?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Do you have any thoughts?
I did catch the majority of this match. I missed the first couple minutes, but then I saw the most important parts of the match. I had to say I was surprised to see Natalya win with the sharpshooter clean. And also, I was also surprised that Carmella did not cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
I was very surprised about that. I thought for sure she was going to. And we mentioned before we went on the air that maybe she might cash in on Tuesday because SmackDown is in Brooklyn on Tuesday, as well as Raw is in Brooklyn too. So they might actually do it on SmackDown because they're trying to build up more importance of the shows, like we mentioned earlier. But I have to say I was disappointed with this match. I thought it could have been more. I mean, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad, but it could have. I expected a little bit more just because Natalya is one of the best women's wrestlers in the WWE, and also Naomi's really, really gotten, I think, and she has great athleticism, and it's a shame that the match kind of ended a little kind of a wet fart of finish, and it won't be the only time we discuss matches that ended with a wet fart of a finish. It definitely won't be, and but yeah, I kind of felt that it could have been more, and also I was a little disappointed we didn't see a Carmella cash in just because I feel like it would have been a big moment just because Carmella is from Staten Island and it's in Brooklyn, so she would have got a pretty big reaction, I think. But they still got opportunity. We'll see what happens. Natalya being women's champion, that I'm happy for her. She deserves it.
I do have to say, I hope they don't do the cash in on SmackDown, just because one, I kind of want to see Natty get at least a semi good run. I don't want her to immediately lose it, and also I don't want Carmella to cash in and lose. I don't think too.
Well,
I don't think
now go
cash-ins is a good thing, especially with her being the first women's Money in the Bank or Miss Money in the Bank. I think with her cashing in and losing, it just puts the last nail in the coffin for that match in general, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I just wish they just do away with Money in the Bank altogether. I just think it's just become really, at least that kind of went outside the box and had Corbin fail on his cash in. But I don't think they're going to do two failed cash ins in the same year. I think that Carmella is going to be successful. I don't know whether or not she will do it on Tuesday. She might tease it and then not do it. But yeah, I'd like to see Natalya get up. I kind of feel, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I kind of feel like this is a thank you win for Natalya. Natalya's been, she's been in the company now for almost 10 years. And she's really never had a very lengthy run with a title, and I think she deserves it. I think she really deserves it, and you know, she's been around for a while, and she probably won't be around forever. So maybe it's kind of a thank you for your service kind of a run. Maybe they'll give her title, let her do something with it.
See, Brandon, I disagree with you on the Money in the Bank. I don't think it should go away because it has elevated certain people. Um, and
Yeah, it
I
has,
mean,
but I don't think it's been a while since I think it's done it. That Money in the Bank's been like you really think about it, some of the Money in the Bank winners the last I don't know 6 years have been guys like Cena and Orton, people who don't need the briefcase.
well, the
And I
Orton
mean,
cash in
you
turned
know,
out to be good though. The
no,
Orton
yeah, well,
cash
yeah,
in, the Orton cash in set up Daniel Bryan to be what Daniel Bryan was at WrestleMania 30.
yeah. That was a good payoff, even though the payoff was a little wonky at times, especially with the way the Royal Rumble 2014 went down. But thankfully, they aborted that mission. So, like I said, I'd love to be wrong. I hope next year when they have Money in the Bank again, this time it'll be on Raw. So hopefully they'll have a good Money in the Bank match next year. I mean, the women's match actually was pretty decent. I thought the Money in the Bank, but that's that's 2 months ago, and we'll see what happens now going forward with Carmella having that Money in the Bank briefcase looming over the women's title picture right now.
All right, moving on to the match of the night. Obviously, we got Big Cass versus Big Show.
Speaking of piss breaks,
Battle of the Bigs, baby. With Enzo Amore above the ring in a shark tank cage, not shark tank, shark cage. Did they actually put sharks in those though? I'm curious.
yeah, that's right.
I feel like that wouldn't make any sense to put a shark in a shark cage.
Why would you put a baby face in there? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But to this match of the night, I mean it was what it was. It was Big Cass versus Big Show, with Big Show having a broken hand and Enzo Amore in the Shark Tank, and it was kind of funny when he oiled himself up and got out of the. I hope nobody would just walked in on that part of the video. When he got himself out of the Shark Tank or Shark, I should say Shark Tank, Shark Cage. I felt like it was, that was kind of an interesting moment, even though there really was no payoff from it. Like he just kind of got
Yeah,
out.
it ended up going to get a big boot.
Yeah, like he got basically tested him with a big boot, which is how Test finishes matches, obviously. But anyway, I'm gonna stop making fun of the guys now. Anyway, I mean, it was here, and I feel like if I really didn't pay much attention to this match, and I feel like that's my issue right now with WWE is I'm always on my phone while watching their show, so I really don't get a chance to really pay attention as much as I want to. But I mean, it was what it was. I'm probably gonna watch it again to kind of see if I actually liked it or not. But yeah, Casey, thoughts on the undeniable match of the night?
I mean, maybe, probably not. Nope. First of all, I love Enzo. We all know that I love Enzo, but it was way too long.
Oh, good God, yes. Good God, yes. You're exactly right.
I was like, what are you even talking about anymore? Stop. Just get in the cage. So I still, like Brandon said, I have a problem with the babyface being in the shark cage. It's not. Swear WWE just has this shark cage, and they're like, we have it. We got to use it as many times as we can. Maybe they just lost a bet or something.
Well, I tell you what happened.
They rented it. If they rented it, they got to use as much as they can before they give it back.
The thing is, no bullshit. I actually found out that WWE sells a ring now that has a shark cage.
They do.
They sell a shark cage. I saw this on Twitter and I laughed and I was like, "Oh my God, that's the reason why they've used this shark cage 3 times in the last year.
Yeah. But yeah, I personally think they should have mounted a camera in the shark cage. Enzo and his crazy antics. He was hilarious. And then him stripping down to his underwear and oiling himself.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was hilarious. I was dying. Although they did book it terribly, I think they should have had him squeeze out and not see him and then kind of jump on him to kind of try to distract him instead of just jumping down and immediately getting a big boot. There was no payoff. It was like, I don't have a problem with that Big Cass won, but there was just no payoff here. What was the point? Other than Enzo stripped down to his underwear and slip out of a shark cage. Like, there was no point. But Brandon?
I'll tell you, I don't know where to start. No, I'll tell you, I'm
let's
not.
start with match of the night.
It was not the match of the night. That was some straight up bullshit. It was a bad match. It was a stinker. It lasted too long. I am not kidding. Friend's house, and I watched a little bit of his promo, and I was like, I don't know what lasted longer, the promo or the match. I think the match might have been a little longer than the promo, but I actually went to the bathroom. I went to the refrigerator, got me a drink and something to eat. And then I went and played with my friend's little toddler, the little daughter. I was playing building blocks with her, and I came back in. And what I saw was Enzo lathering himself up with lube in his underwear, falling out of the cage. I was like, what in the hell is this? I was like, my God. And then he gets hit with a big boot right after he drops down from the shark cage. I did think it was funny. The shark cage was not very high up like it was in the Alamo Dome at Royal Rumble. And I was laughing. I said, okay, there's a reason why the shark cage isn't very far up in the air. When I saw that, I was like, okay.
Yeah, Brandon. Didn't you hear commentary?
Well, I don't really believe Michael Cole, so no, it just, the whole thing was just stupid. It was a bad match, lasted too long. They, both looked like big walruses in there slapping or hitting bellies against each other. It just didn't look good. I was not a fan. I kept my eye on the match even when I was doing the things I was telling you about, and I didn't see anything really. And I did see the finish. Finish was very flat. Another wet fart of a finish, and the crowd seemed like they were just annoyed. I heard some audible groans in the crowd. I think it was one near fall towards the end of the match, where you can hear the crowd collectively slapping their foreheads, like, "Oh my God." And it's like I said, you can just tell some of the matches tonight, especially in the first half, seemed like they were just dragging the matches out as long as they could to fill time in the 4-hour time limit, or the 4-hour, time.
To fill time so they wouldn't have to deal with this next match, which was Randy Orton versus Rusev, which could have been a really good match, and they decided to go 10 seconds with it. Oh my God.
I think Rusev might be in that perennial doghouse.
If Rusev is not U.S. champion, I swear he turns into like a whole different person, because they just I don't think he's been booked well since he lost the U.S. title. Every single time he loses the U.S. title, it just gets worse and worse. Rusev attacked him. It
was awful. It was terrible.
He attacked him from behind, and then Orton just comes back with an RKO. It was a mean RKO, though. I'll give you that.
It was pretty awesome. It was a good RKO.
I mean, he spiked him, but still, good gravy. Rusev has been kicking out of all these big moves, being U.S. champion, and now he gets in this one match with Randy Orton and can't kick out of an RKO. Huh?
He kicked out of the AA. I mean, like the AA. He's kicked out of the AA before. He's kicked out of all these big moves. But like I said, he gets hit with one RKO and that's it. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
I'm gonna give this one to y'all, and then I'm gonna let Casey talk about the Queen losing. I'm gonna give this to y'all, and then I'm gonna let Casey talk about.
Casey, I'm gonna let you go first on this because I have a lot I want to say because Rusev's my guy.
Okay, first of all, she's a goddess. Get it right. I definitely liked Orton during his entrance before the match could even start. Anybody who is watching this or ever does watch this video, what this crap was. You have a 4-hour pay-per-view. This short piece of crap. Like, I'm not the biggest Rusev fan. A lot better than this. Even to an extent, Orton.
Yeah.
Like, really? There's no point. If you're going to do this, just scrap the match. You have a 4-hour pay-per-view. Brandon?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Casey. You know, I made it abundantly clear in the last couple shows that Rusev is one of my favorite guys in WWE, but they have absolutely nothing with him now, and they made him look like a complete ass tonight. Came in there and, jumped Orton from behind, put a beating on him, and then he gets hit with one RKO, and then that's it. And it was ridiculous. I didn't like it. It was stupid. Orton did not need the win. Orton does not need. He's been in the company 15 years. He put on 3 stinker matches with Jinder, especially that Punjabi chopstick House of Horrors match or whatever that crap was at the last
That was the best
pay-per-view.
one, by the way.
Well, if it was, that's sad.
That was a good freaking match. What's wrong with you?
I wasn't a really big fan, but that's what you do when you put Jinder with Randy Orton 3 straight times. It's not a really good recipe for a successful feud.
Jinder is your modern day Maharaja, darn it. You shut your mouth.
I have a lot I want to say about the modern day Maharaja later. But we'll get to that a little later on. But no, this was some straight up crap, and I was not a fan. This was probably the angriest I was the entire night, other than the result of the WWE title match. But yeah, so Rusev, he got basically shit on tonight.
That's way away from the freaking result of the WWE title match.
It was bad. Oh yeah, I actually agree. Much worse because at least Shinsuke looked competitive in his match. Rusev looked like a goober. It looked like, the thing is, those stuff possibly leaving WWE after his contract expires seem pretty far-fetched. Yeah, that was very disappointing. Very disappointed with that outcome. And Casey, I know that this next match you were very disappointed with the outcome of.
Even though I love Alexa Bliss,
the boss, baby.
I just like laughing at Casey when Alexa Bliss loses. Alexa's amazing though, in a variety of ways. I didn't say that,
Casey. Thank you so much. This was a really good match. It was. I'm not going to take anything away from the match.
But remember, Alexa can't wrestle, so technically it couldn't have been a good match. That's how it works, right?
Alexa looked really good. I have to say one thing before we get to the match. How awesome was that promo package they showed for No Mercy with Alexa Bliss?
That was really cool, especially with the cheerleading thing.
Yeah,
that was confusing as hell to me. I was like, okay, I get that she used to be a cheerleader,
and she also is a big Harley Quinn fan, apparently.
And I was just like, what? But they better sell those masks now on WWE Shop now.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, they have Southpaw Regional Wrestling merchandise
That
now.
is
By the
the
way,
greatest thing ever.
I love it. God, it
Watch,
was so good. Season 2 was amazing. They better come out with a season 3.
if you have not watched season 2, pause this video, go watch it.
Can't, well, I can't pause it. I'm a part of it.
After you listen to this show, go on
I'm just
YouTube
gonna
and
leave. I'm just gonna leave and go watch it. Whatever
yes,
happens
go.
to the video
Yeah,
happens.
Um,
go watch it right now, or go watch it right after you listen to us tonight, because it is one of the absolute best things WWE has done, and you can tell Vince McMahon has no idea what it is because it's not overly produced or scripted like the promos are nowadays.
well, and before I get into this match, what I love about it is all the wrestlers' ideas. Like had been doing that character, backstage with his friends for years, and they just do a show, and it's hilarious because if you watch old, 80s territory days wrestling, heckly like that. They're just doing a spoof of it, and it's great.
It's a straight up homage to 80s regional wrestling, and it's awesome. But,
Yeah.
Getting back to what we were talking about with the match, I'm going to agree with it. I thought it was a tremendous match. A lot of intensity, and a lot of, I was really impressed with a lot of the moves. I love Alexa, I like Sasha a lot. I think both of them brought it. And I was pleasantly surprised with the outcome because I actually was the only person who picked Sasha Banks to win the match. And I was one of the few people who actually picked Sasha to win, period. I mean, like, very few people actually thought she was going to win. And
it's okay.
I was, what?
Will retain her title soon enough.
Well, the thing is, I was happy for Sasha because Sasha is not very good. And it's just that big, at the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. She's 0-2 at the building in Brooklyn the last 2 years, and she finally got the win.
Somebody pull that sound bite. Brandon Burnett said Sasha Banks is not very good.
What?
Just leaves it at that.
Sasha's not very good. No. Don't take my stuff out of context. Don't take my stuff out. No. She's not. She has not done that well in some of these big matches, and she finally got the Duke tonight. I think she deserved it. It was a good match. One of the better matches on the show. I really liked it. And I'm very, like I said, I'm pretty sure these gals are going to have another match at the next Raw pay-per-view in No Mercy.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with you guys. This match was really, it was really good. Freaking, I have never thought about how beautiful a woman is while watching a match until I started watching Alexa Bliss. Like I'm not joking. She has that effect on me.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're all males here, and let's be real. I mean, a girl who wears shorts that basically look like she's wearing underwear, and it's kind of hard to miss. I mean, you think about it. I mean, she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's honestly, it makes me feel old as hell knowing that she's actually about a year or two younger than me. And I mean, and Sasha is, I think, 3 years younger than me. Sasha's only 25, and
Yeah,
it's just some good women's wrestling on Raw. I'm glad it was Sasha and Alexa. I hate the fact that Bayley got injured. I think it sucks, but I think we got the better match out of it because Bayley and Alexa just didn't have good chemistry, in my opinion.
or they just destroyed Bayley. But
Oh yeah, that was character assassination.
this match, I felt like I said, was really good. I think Alexa is a lot better than she ever gets the credit for.
I know. I think so too.
In the same breath that I put Charlotte in this, I put Charlotte in the same thing. Because a lot of people are, and I say this all the time, but it's freaking true. A lot of people are like, oh God, she didn't come from the indie, so she can't wrestle. She won't ever be able to wrestle, and she's not a wrestler. And people say these words, and I disagree.
Oh, it's the most annoying thing ever. I mean, like I said, I'll give myself. I'm going to tell you, I've been watching wrestling long enough that I feel like I know a lot of stuff. But when I hear people say stuff like that, when you think about Alexa, first thing I think about every time I hear her talk or see her in the ring is Trish Stratus. And Trish
Uh
was
huh.
not. She was not on the independents. She wasn't even a wrestler when she first came into the WWE. And she ended up becoming one of the most decorated women of all time in the history of WWE. And like I said, Alexa pretty much is a non-Canadian version of Trish
Well,
Hulk.
also you have to think you know Trish was one of the best in WWE history along with Lita, but she in the beginning she wasn't as good as she became. But I think she got so much better because she had all those great opponents. She had Lita, who was came up in the Indies and trained in Mexico, and the same with Alexa. She has all these women now that she's kind of going against and getting better and better.
Yeah, I mean, she's going up against some of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and Sasha and Bailey, and she went up against Becky Lynch and Mickey James. I mean, she's going up against some great opponents. I mean, to cut your teeth on these opponents right away when you get up to the main roster. She's been on the main roster for what, a year, a little over a year now, and she has held both women's championships on Raw and SmackDown. So. I mean that's a hell of an endorsement by the company, even though she did lose tonight. But the thing is, I mean, she's the real deal. I really think that the people who hate on her, I think they need to take a step back and check themselves because I think that they honestly, I think she's the real deal. And once again, Sasha, she's always going to be very solid in the ring. And like I said, I was actually very excited about this match it delivered, and I was happy with the result just because I wanted Sasha to finally win the big one on the big stage instead of winning championships on Raw all the time.
Yeah.
By the way, that is her first women's championship win on a pay per view.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That's kind of nuts when you think about it.
Well, let's move on to the Demon King
Demon Kane.
going up against the Eater of Worlds, Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Um, I may not be the biggest Finn Balor fan ever. Not saying I don't like him. I'm just not the hugest Finn Balor fan like Casey is. But every time his entrance, he comes out his entrance, I always do the little arm thing that he does.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's awesome.
It's infectious. I do like Finn Balor. Don't you dare get me wrong. But I also love Bray Wyatt. This was kind of one of those matches where I was like, I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to go. Come on. He's got the whole world in his hands, bro. That was nice.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I don't know if they showed Bray's reaction when it happened.
I don't think they did.
Which was weird because that's usually something they would do. But
they show reactions of everybody else in the crowd every time somebody hits a scoop slam on somebody. They show some random person in the crowd on their phone texting. So yeah. I mean, Kevin Dunn loves his shots of people looking bored, looking at a television screen. So I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand the production in WWE.
But I definitely like this match. I still like Bray Wyatt. I just think that something's got to give with him because he lost again. But I don't know if you beat the Demon King, Demon guy, Demon fella. I did like the paint though. The paint was pretty cool.
The paint was awesome.
But this was a good match. I liked it. I was a fan. I like the kind of contrast of styles with these two. I'm just hoping they do something with Bray. This could be a really cool feud, and I think we saw how cool this feud can be just by entrances and mind games alone in this particular match. How cool this feud could be, but I think they've booked it terribly over the past couple of months, over the past month or so. But.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they did a start and stop with this feud. We talked about this on on Tuesday night when we did the prediction show. I think that they'd kind of done a start and stop, and I think really took the steam out of it. I really thought it was pretty hot first night they did it, and then they just pulled the plug on it, and they put Rollins with Wyatt just out of the freaking blue. So I actually really liked this match too. That was a good match. I liked it. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was pretty much going to be straight up. Balor was going to pretty much mow through Wyatt, and I thought it was a pretty cool visual of seeing, the Demon Balor. I thought it was cool. I thought the paint looked awesome, and I'm glad he got the win. And like I said, he does not lose very often when he wears that demon makeup. Has he ever lost?
I think he's
when
lost
he's
one
dressed
time.
as the demon?
He lost.
I think it was to Joe, right?
Yeah, Samoa Joe.
In the cage match.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but I was a fan. I liked this match. It wasn't the greatest match that Balor's ever put on, but I enjoyed it, and I'm glad he got the win. He, like I said, it's really a shame because, like I said, I really wish he never got injured last year because I would have liked to see what he would have done with the Universal title.
Agreed. Casey, did you have any thoughts on Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt?
I do. I feel like this match felt like we've been waiting for it for so long. And, it turned out to be a pretty awesome match. It wasn't, like Brandon said, it wasn't the best match we've seen from Finn, but it was definitely really good. The only thing is, to me personally, and DJ kind of touched on this a little bit, I really think they built this up as big as they could have. Two kind of experts in mind games and facing off. They could have done the God versus the Demon. I think the build up to that would have been awesome. Kind of dropped the ball with that, with kind of the stopping and starting of the feud, but definitely a good match. I don't think anyone was surprised that Finn won because Bray lost.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they always call Bray the Eater of Worlds. Really, I think a more accurate eater of pins.
I was about to say, if you mention JoJo, I'm going to be really mad at you.
No, no, I wasn't going to mention that. But no, it's funny. I was just thinking when I saw his entrance, Balor's entrance, I was like, this is awesome entrance. But if you muted the TV and you would just came in and you didn't hear any sound or didn't hear the music, you would honestly think the boogeyman was about ready to come out. With that red smoke, I was like, oh, God. Like, if you had that on mute, you'd be like, oh, no, the boogeyman's coming out. He's going to smash the clock over his head. So, thank God the boogeyman didn't come out. So, yeah. It was a good match. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it was ridiculous they gave this away for free on Monday night, and they just did it just to get the Demon Balor to come out again. And they could have just done this in a promo. They could have just done it in like an in-ring segment. But to each his own. I guess they needed to fill those 3 hours that they desperately need to have on Raw nowadays.
Casey, do you have any additional thoughts before we get to this awkward pound that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins did?
No.
They tried, but they failed on Raw. But
I really hope nobody walked in right at that point. Doing an awkward pound.
I think everyone walks in at the most awkward points of the show, to be honest. But this was a match I didn't freaking get to see as much as I wanted to see of it. Darn it, because I want to go back and watch it. I think Amber should have wore red pants for this. I'm gonna be honest.
Rollins' pants were awesome.
Yeah, I know. I think Amber should have worn like red jeans. Like, come on, guys.
He wears the same thing all the time.
Yeah, we need something. Like, I mean, the man used to have shirts. He didn't got shirts no more. He just back to the white beaters again. Like,
yeah, he just wears this black white beater all the time now.
But I'm gonna give this match to you too because I know I didn't really get to watch as much of this as I want to. I want to go back and watch this just because I feel a lot of people have been very high on Sheamus and Cesaro recently, and I'm kind of
I
trying
think
to.
they've been good. They've been good.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch them, especially in this match.
Well, Casey, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Um, I'll go first because I probably have less to say. But first of all, I loved Rollins' new red ring gear. I thought that was awesome.
Best ring gear he's had since he wore his White Ranger uniform a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Oh no, actually, let's be honest. The you can't see me shirt I think was the best ring gear I've seen.
That was pretty good, but no, it was good. Those black and red pants are pretty awesome.
But this match was great. Sure that Rollins and Ambrose would win, but I was still surprised for some reason. But I'm definitely excited to see how their run goes. Kind of it still feels like they don't really trust each other. They're still doing the awkward pounds. Excited. I'm also excited, curious to see what they do with Sheamus and Cesaro now.
Best of 7 series. Oh, sorry.
But, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh Lord, besses. Well, I was a fan. This was the best match on the show until the main event. It was a great match. It was actually exceeding my expectations. I thought it was going to be good. I didn't realize it was going to be as good as it was. I love that final sequence, the ending sequence where they did that like monkey flip type thing where it looked like Cesaro actually took Sheamus out with the shoulder tackle. I think it was Cesaro took it. Was it Cesaro took Sheamus out, or was it Sheamus took Cesaro out? I can't remember
probably
exactly.
Sheamus.
I think so. But it was awesome.
Sheamus always taking somebody out.
Yeah, yeah. But it was great. I love that sequence. It was so awesome. It was such a good match. It was a lot of good near falls. It was my favorite match on the card, and like until the main event. But it was awesome. It was definitely a match of the night candidate, and it was great. It was, it's what a tag team match should be. We've seen some great tag team matches, especially in the NXT set over the last calendar year. And
with the top guys, by the way.
Top guys. It's a shame because that's who I actually predicted who would take the belts off of Ambrose and Rollins in the future. But unfortunately, we will not see them again as a team until probably sometime near WrestleMania next year. So we will see. But I was a big fan. I'm happy to see. It was the pop of the night seeing those two win. I think the crowd was really happy. Was happy to see them win, and honestly, it was kind of the zenith of the of the pops of the night. I think that you didn't really see pops like this for any of the remaining matches. Other than that, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better matches, one of the best matches that Sheamus and Cesaro's had as in their tag team run, which is saying something because they've had some good matches. I don't know how you guys feel, but I liked a lot of their matches with the Hardys. I liked, the matches they had I think they had some matches with the New Day last year. Man, I like these. I like these guys as a team. I hope they don't break them up. I hope they have some return matches or have one at the next pay per view. And I think they can really tear the house down again.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Sheamus and Cesaro, as far as matches are concerned, have been good. I just for the life of me have not been able to really take them seriously as a tag team. I feel like.
Well, at first I felt the same way because they actually, believe it or not, they're coming on the 1 year anniversary of them first teaming up as a team. I think they first teamed up, I think, the week after SummerSlam, so we're coming up on a year. And I think they've had a much more successful run than anybody expected. I thought it was going to die a death when it first was
Yeah,
announced, and it ended up it's worked for him. And I think that both of them needed it. I think Cesaro turning heel actually has helped him,
yeah,
even though he was very, very, very popular as a babyface. But
yeah.
I
I think
think
we
it
also need
gives
to
him some new
cue.
juice.
We need to cue the complaining parent after Cesaro tore up the beach ball because we know we're gonna get one.
Oh, that was great. I'm so glad that you brought that up. That was one of the best things on the entire show. That was awesome. I was a fan of that. That was great. That was some of the best heel maneuvers I've seen the entire weekend. It was awesome. It was so much. Casey, how did you feel about that?
I missed it for a second, then I saw him tearing it up, and I was like, what you doing? What did that ball do to you,
I just loved it. It's
bro?
such good heel. It's such good heel. It's like perfect heel heat. Like
Yeah, even though the crowd cheered.
I really never seen Cesaro get that much heel heat before. It was great.
But moving on to the United States Championship match, we got AJ Styles versus the new face of America, Kevin Owens. I was so cheering for Kevin Owens in this match. I was like, come on, Kevin, let's do it. Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. You got it, Kevin. I was so excited. I definitely like this match. I like Shane McMahon's special guest referee shirt. I thought it was nice. Uh, I I was wondering how. I think my main thought during this match was how is Shane McMahon gonna affect the outcome of this match? I think he took like more bumps than the two competitors actually who were in the match. Because this man was getting he was getting hit by everything. Because freaking Shane McMahon just gets hit by every freaking thing. Um, but this was a
He
good
got
match.
hit like 5 times. He got
Yeah,
hit
he
five
did.
times during the match. It was
He
insane.
did. But this was definitely, you know, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. You don't expect anything less. It was definitely a good match. And I think, it helped to have that X factor with Shane McMahon in there too to kind of give it something different. Uh, I was so mad when freaking when Shane McMahon like basically counted the three, but then said AJ Styles' foot was on the ropes. I was so mad. I was so mad because I was cheering for Kevin Owens so hard. But AJ Styles ends up retaining when he hit that last Styles class. I was like, no, no. And then they finally counted the three. I was like, no. No, I was really upset about this match, but not in like a bad way, just in a like emotional fan way. But this was great though. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Kevin Owens is still your new face of America, but AJ Styles is still your United States champion. Casey, thoughts on AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee?
First of all, I think we need Shane to ref every match ever because he don't take no crap. He's not afraid to just grab you and move you out the way.
He like Earl Hebner.
Like he did with AJ. Like he literally picked up AJ and like moved him. I'm like, bruh, I don't think you can do that. Like, I don't think that's in the rules. I don't like, but
Casey. I was gonna say, it's like the other guys with Will Ferrell. He was Gator. He said Gator don't take no shit. Shane doesn't take no shit.
yeah.
I mean, that he didn't. He was a troubleshooting referee. He would not take any crap.
Yeah. I also loved Owens yelling at Shane. He's like, you fell off a building and you can't get up from that after talking about when he pulled Shane in front of him, taking AJ's inverted 450. I thought that was hilarious. Late in the match with Owens dodging the Pele kick and delivering a super kick, I thought that was pretty good. Pretty cool spot. Good match. I kind of like that AJ did retain just because I don't know. I don't think I don't think Owens needs the title right now. I hope they push him more towards the main event again. along with he needs to be more in the main event, and I think Finn needs to be pushed back to the main event.
Yeah, I agree.
AJ's doing good right now with the U.S. title, I think. So just push those two guys up more and kind of give them, especially I think Finn, not to go back to that, but I think, like we were saying before, he got injured so quickly after winning the title, and he hasn't been able to really, I feel like, get back to that main event picture. I mean, I think he had one match, but not enough.
I was going to say, did he even have a match where he had a chance to go back to the Universal title?
Didn't he have a number one contenders match at least? I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well,
He
they
had
think
match before he won the title. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get his day. I think he'll get his day eventually. It's going to be probably next year, but I think he'll get the belt back eventually. Or he might actually win the WWE title. He might move over to SmackDown pretty soon. You never know. But
Yeah.
I had to say I really like this match. This match was good. This is one of the better matches that they've had together. I really like the Shane dynamic. It was a little ridiculous. Shane got knocked out like 5 times during that match. I haven't seen that many ref bumps since the WCW NWO days. And Earl Hebner would have been proud with these ref bumps too. I mean, Shane. It was so funny. I saw a tweet on Twitter that said that Shane McMahon has fell off a cell and he's survived a helicopter crash, but he gets knocked out by some weak ass like clothesline. It was really funny. But the thing is, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the dynamic. We're definitely going to get a Shane Kevin Owens match pretty soon, possibly at the next SmackDown pay-per-view, which I believe is Hell in a Cell. And I did predict that that's probably going to be one of your main matches at Hell in a Cell, and I think it's going to be pretty damn good. And anything like Shane's last match with AJ Styles is going to be a damn good match. And I do have to admit, I have a confession to make. I did miss the ending sequence because my network crapped out on me, and I did not see how it ended. I know AJ won because when it came back, AJ was holding the belt up, and his music was playing. So, what was the end? Did he win with the forearm, or did he win with the Styles Clash?
He won with the Styles Clash.
Okay, he did win with Styles. Well, that's good. Like I said, I used to be almost comical that he doesn't win with the Styles Clash as often as he used to. He wins with the forearm more now, but
yeah.
I'm happy to see the Styles Clash is making a comeback, and he's won some of his pay-per-view matches this year with the Styles Clash, and I'm happy he got the win. Very happy. I even though I am a Kevin Owens fan as well, but AJ really I think is the MVP of SmackDown for the last over calendar year, ever since last July. I think he's been the man. I think he's been the absolute best part of SmackDown since last July, and I'm very happy that he retained, and he's now 2-0 at SummerSlam.
I beg to differ.
Oh God! Don't even talk about.
I'm not even gonna say.
Oh Jesus! I tell you, I'm not looking forward to this.
Before we get into Brandon's obvious match of the night, I gotta say, and I meant to say this in the Sasha Banks match. Who wore it better, Sasha Banks or Dalton Castle?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
but moving on to the WWE. What?
Dalton Castle.
No, always Dalton Castle. Moving on to the WWE Championship match, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Love Shinsuke's entrance tonight. It was awesome. It was amazing. Freaking, I love how much crowd just popped immediately for the violin player. That was awesome.
I'm pretty sure he's on the payroll now.
He gotta be, but I feel like I didn't know how to feel about this match because I felt like it was good. I definitely liked it. I love Jinder. You know, Jinder's down to business, but Shinsuke is like, I'm gonna mess around with you a little bit, and I love it. I like the dynamic in this match, but between the two characters. But I just knew Shinsuke was gonna win, and I was like, "Come on, Jinder, come on, baby!" And then Jinder came out on top because he found a way to win. He's the modern day Maharaja and the modern day Triple H at this point. Jinder Mahal is still your WWE champion, and I'm hype. I think it does help him to have these victories though, because you can't push him to the title and then have him lose the next match. So, not that this is the next match, just hypothetically speaking. I feel like he has to have some victories under his belt besides just Randy Orton to feel legitimate and him to feel because he looks like a champion, he acts like a champion, but if he doesn't have the victories as a champion, he's gonna look like a Kirisawa. But I'm excited. Jinder Mahal's still champion, baby. Your modern day Maharaja. I love this man so much. I don't know why. I can't put words to why I love this man, but I love this man. And he should never lose the title. Ever. Ever. Maharaja. Casey, thoughts on Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke? Because I'm probably the only one on the Jinder bandwagon at this point. But dang on it, I like everybody that everybody hates. It's just how it works.
First of all, and this is just maybe just a personal thing for me. I don't like that they're making the WWE Championship feel less important than the Universal title. Like, and I don't care who the champion is. The WWE title should still feel like the most important title in the company to me, and should be on the main event, not the semi-main. I mean, it's the title for the company. Like,
okay, agreed. They just hate SmackDown. They always have.
And even though SmackDown is the better show.
Yeah. But they really threw me off when the Hindi announce team randomly started coming through. I was like, wait, what? At least later they warned us that the Japanese announce team was going to start talking.
Oh, anytime you get a Funaki sighting, it's a good day.
Yeah. As for the finish,
he was in this match, Casey. I need to know.
Obviously, all of them. But as for the finish, I love Jinder, I do. But logically, why did he retain here on SummerSlam? Shinsuke should have won.
He needs that big victory. He needs that big victory at a big pay-per-view.
He beat Randy Orton 3 consecutive times.
That's great, but it was like at freaking Battleground, freaking insert stupid pay-per-view here and insert killer pay-per-view there. At least now he's got that big he's got that big 4 pay-per-view under his belt. Now, I mean, he can lose the title, which he won't because he's the Maharaja and he's the best.
People don't take him seriously anyway. What's the point of keeping the damn belt on him?
No. It doesn't. It makes a difference when you win the title on a big pay-per-view. Retaining the title on the big pay-per-view isn't as big as winning the title. So I'm not. Your point is invalid.
It's not. How is my point invalid? Explain that to me. How is my point invalid? SummerSlam is still a big show. Whether you retain the title or you win the title, or shoot, even if you win a doggone match, it's still a big match because you won it on a big 4 pay-per-view.
But retaining isn't as big.
It's not as big. It's still big.
Yeah. Anyway, well, the thing is, yeah. Well, the thing is, I actually agree with DJ on the fact that really big 4 pay-per-views, you win a match if you're a WWE champion and you retain your belt at SummerSlam, it should be a big deal. But Casey, I'm gonna let you finish your thought really quick. I have a lot I have to say about this.
But as I was trying to say, Shinsuke should have won because where else is Jinder going to drop the title and make it actually matter? They're not going to wait till the next Big 4 pay-per-view. It's going to be one of the pay-per-views between then, which aren't as big, and it's not going to matter.
It's still gonna matter, but I feel like, and this is just my opinion, Shinsuke has 100 times over as many times to get a big pay-per-view victory than Jinder Mahal does. My concern with Jinder Mahal is as soon as he loses his title, he's gonna turn into Rusev.
Mm,
He needs.
ah,
I feel like he needed this victory to legitimize his title run. Now he can lose the title because I don't know what's going to happen to Jinder after he loses the title because they've
I'll tell.
gotten what they need to get out of him.
Yeah, that is a good point. That's a good point. But Casey, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, Shinsuke should have won.
Well, yeah,
I
I
don't care.
agree. I
He
agree,
had
and I'm
100 times to win the dang on title.
well. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna get up on my soapbox, and I'm gonna try my best to not drop any really bad language. So I'm gonna be as nice as I possibly can with this. Nakamura should have won won the championship. I almost said national championship. He should have won the WWE championship tonight. That was absolute horse manure that he did not win the belt. The way he lost his first pinfall loss in WWE was on a lame ass distraction by the Job Squad,
That's
and
how Jinder's won, though.
it's
Every single one.
but it's lazy. It's the same crap. All four of his pay per view.
Well, but I mean,
I mean,
having Great
it's
Khali
so
interfere
lazy.
is
It's
different.
so lazy. WWE should basically be recall. Should be heels always win. That's basically what it should be. Heels always win. People, you know, WWE is supposed to be entertainment and make people happy, not make people depressed. And it's kind of like escapism. When I watch WWE, I want to be entertained. I want to feel like after I watch a show, I want to be happy, not feel like I want to put my fist through the TV because some guy who was a freaking jobber his entire career ends up becoming champion out of a freaking, like, they pretty much picked his name out of a hat to be champion because they want to get the belt off of Orton, even though Orton just won the title at WrestleMania over Bray Wyatt, which was another unnecessary switch of the WWE title, which Wyatt deserved a much longer reign. But he'll never get to that point ever again, probably, the way things are looking. But this thing is Nakamura looked great. I loved the entrance. The entrance was cool. The match, actually, I was digging the match. It was built up the way it was looking. It looked like Nakamura was going to have to overcome the odds to defeat Jinder. I mean, there's still a silver lining in this cloud that these two could fight again, and there could be some kind of stipulation where Jinder will not have the Singh brothers ringside, where they'll be barred from ringside, and we'll have a straight up one-on-one match. And hopefully, we will get that because I think that in storyline, Shinsuke deserves it. And I was not a fan of the way that went down. It really put a damper on the pay per view to me. And thank God the Fatal 4-Way match was actually really, really good main event. That
But two, I I got one more point.
okay.
I think we oftentimes forget that um Survivor Series is not that far away. It's not as far away as the other Big Four pay-per-view.
You're right. You're right. It is.
So
It's only 3 months away, and that's not too far away. And I'd love to see Shinsuke get it there. But thing is, I have a feeling that Shinsuke and a lot of other people are going to be in the big Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match, and I I don't know. I have a bad feeling. But the thing is, I don't know who Jinder's going to lose the belt to. If he doesn't lose Nakamura, who's he going to lose it to? Cena is going to be going away again soon. Corbin looks like a damn idiot now. AJ has the U.S. title. Kevin Owens is a heel.
I'm gonna say this. People are gonna hate me. Would you say that there's no one at the gender level?
Man, I swear I would punch you right now if I saw you right now.
It was so there. I had to say it.
Oh God, I like I said, honestly, I have not been that angry in a while at a result on a pay-per-view. I haven't been that angry at a result on a pay-per-view since Sting lost to Triple H at WrestleMania 31. I was so I was disappointed and angry. And I just really think that they squandered an opportunity to have a big moment. And I mean, the thing is, especially with how the Fatal Four Way ended, the Fatal Four Way was great, but you ended with another retain of a championship of a guy who, and also there's one other thing I have to say. You didn't mention, I think Casey mentioned this, where the WWE Championship does not feel as big as
Yeah.
the Universal title. We had to look at who's holding the Universal Championship. The Universal Championship is held by one of the most legit badasses in the history of WWE and also mixed martial arts too, and Brock Lesnar. And you have Jinder Mahal on the other side, a guy who was really never built. He wasn't built up. That was the thing. And I'm pretty sure you would agree with me, DJ. He was not. It wasn't like it was a slow build to Jinder getting the championship where he looked good going in, like before they had the number one contenders match. He basically was forgotten about. Then they threw him in that battle royal or whatever the hell that thing was they had, and he won because the Singh brothers came in and basically I think held Sami Zayn's leg or something like that. It was some really lame. It's just they didn't do a good job building Jinder up to be a champion, and
Well,
I just don't think that worked. I think
well,
like
I feel
if
like
you want to see a good build, just look at what they've done with Braun Strowman.
I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, but sorry, Casey. Because I want to actually be on the pro Jinder Mahal argument. I feel like as much as we say, quote, the title isn't that important anymore, the title has now made the man in Jinder Mahal.
Well, I mean, I still a lot of people. I don't think some people still buy it, especially when you think about your other champion on SmackDown. Your U.S. champion is the best wrestler in the entire WWE and AJ Styles. I mean,
Now,
just
I do want to piggyback a little bit off of something Brandon said, and this goes back to the gentleman that should have won this match, Shinsuke Nakamura. As far as Survivor Series, I think, and WWE will never do this, but if they booked their shows like some of these indie shows do, where guys can have multiple matches in one show, I think, and Shinsuke Nakamura is one of these guys who he could be in one of the Survivor Series matches and challenge for the title in the same night. If they would allow that to happen in WWE, he could do it.
Oh, I think he could too. I think that's a great idea. It's kind of funny. I really don't know if I've ever seen anybody have two matches on. I think other than that one year they had the Ultimate Survivor Series match. I think it was the 1990. It was the one that Undertaker debuted and the gobbledygooker came out of the egg. I think that was the only time they had guys wrestle two matches. And
Well, other than that, the only time was when they had King of the Rings.
That's right, King of the Rings and Royal Rumbles, and they used to do it all the time back in the day. They'd have like matches in the undercard, and you see the guys come back out for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that is a really good point, and I it is a shame. I really would like to see that happen. Maybe Jinder. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe Shinsuke will get. I think he will get another opportunity. I don't know whether or not he'll win. It's just I have a bad feeling that he'll probably get the second opportunity and win at some low level B pay-per-view that nobody's really going to give a crap about. So it's a shame because honestly, that Brooklyn crowd would have probably went nuts had he won that match.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah, and I just really thought the finish was lame. I mean, it was basically he got like the Singh Bros came in and they like just basically flailed around in circles, and then and why didn't the referee call for a DQ? I mean, you think
They've been
about it.
really weird about that, like recently with like
Yeah,
calling. I feel like
they've become very lax with these pay per
yeah.
view with these matches where they just let things go. It's weird, but yeah. No, but no, I've said all I need to say about that. I think Casey, me and you, I think we're on the same wavelength, and I don't know what the hell DJ's thinking.
Hey, I got a different opinion. That's probably it's probably just
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, you know what? It's good to have different opinions, but I still don't get your gender fandom.
it's just I mean he earned it. He won the number one contenders match. That's all I can say.
But
Like
he did nothing before that.
he did, but I mean he took he they gave him an opportunity. He took it.
He did, but it still was one of the most random thrown together champions.
It's random, but it's logical at the same time.
Okay, all right.
He won the number one contenders match
Yeah, he
and he won
did.
the title.
He
That's
did.
how it works.
He did. He did. But I mean that's like I mentioned on the last show. That's like a Barry Horowitz would have won the number one contenders match back in the early '90s and would have beat Hulk Hogan for the championship. It wouldn't have made any sense.
It wouldn't, but he earned the title match. He
Yeah,
won it.
well, he did. He did. But oh lordy,
Let's move on to the main event. We
yes.
got the four
Let's
way.
please do.
We got Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. Like I said in the predictions, one of the strongest built matches as far as every competitor feels like they could win. And I like that. I like that about this match. I told Brandon this off. He was either off camera or through a text. I can't remember, but I feel like this match was everything a fatal four way should be. Like every single
You
time.
said that
And
in a text.
yeah. I mean, I just felt like this match was everything a fatal four way should be. Strowman was destroying people as he should, and looking very, very strong while doing it. Samoa Joe locking in that choke and trying to choke people out. Roman being Roman, I like that Roman has a logo on his little jacket now or his little vest now instead of just
Oh yeah. With the fist in between the two R's. That's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
that's nice. And then Brock just being Brock and Brock taking bumps as well. Like as much as we complain about Brock and everyone hates Brock, uh, in my most sarcastic accent I can find, Brock takes a whole bunch of ridiculous bumps during his matches. He goes through a bunch of tables. He dies a bunch of times for the entertainment of the people.
Other than the Dean Ambrose match last year.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I definitely feel like this was just a really good match. This was everything that I wanted this match to be, with four heavy hitters just going at it. When Brock went out on the stretcher, I knew he was gonna come back. I didn't necessarily think he was gonna necessarily win, but I knew he was at least coming back. Um, I also like when Brock, I think he had him in the F. I think it was when Joe had him in the choke and Reigns hit him with the spear. I thought that was nice. There was about a lot of good spots in this match, but I really didn't feel like Brock was gonna win this match, and he did. And I feel like this is the least amount of mad I've been about a Brock Lesnar retain / winning of a title in a while. Like I don't know, for some reason I just wasn't that mad about it. As much as I felt like in any of the other three could have won and it would have been great and would have been logical. I don't know. Brock still gets a big pop every time he comes out. Although the fans sung "na na 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 hey 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 goodbye" to him when he went off on the stretcher, they still cheered the crap out of him when he came back out.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't as mad about that as I thought I would be if he retained.
I do have to add though with that, I think anytime anybody gets stretchered out and then comes back, the fans pop anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it could be like, could get just destroyed, get carted back. He comes out and people just like it doesn't matter who it is. If you come back, they're
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
If I got thrown through a table and then came out, people would be like, "Oh my god!" But they would do that anyway because I'm the greatest. But
they'd be like, get in. Where's the stretcher at? but
Justin, wait, no, nobody would cheer for Justin.
true. I feel like Braun only gets cheered because he's been in a feud with Reigns. No one cared about Braun until he was in a feud with Reigns, and I always say that Roman Reigns elevated Braun Strowman. But two, I do think Braun has improved, and I also think Braun has gotten into great shape. I always give him credit for that. But I feel like Braun is no different of a power wrestler than Big Cass or Big Show or Mark Henry is.
He is a lot better than Big Cass.
but he's still the ultimate power wrestler. He did like 5 power slams in this match.
But they were awesome power slams.
I mean, they were good power slams, yeah. But I'm just saying, there's no difference between Braun Strowman and a lot of these other big guys who we consistently say suck and are terrible.
Uh-huh.
The only reason we cheer for I should say in air quotes, cheer for Braun Strowman is because he's in a feud with Roman Reigns.
Well, I tell you, I have to say, I agreed with you the other day when you said that Roman really elevated Braun and made him just really put him over in a big way, even though, they traded wins back and forth, but Braun won, and then Roman won against Braun. And, like I said, I'm a fan. Braun's my favorite wrestler on Raw. I love him. I think he's great. I think he's a big man done right. The difference between him and a lot of big men? Do you know the difference, DJ?
Educate me.
The difference is he was built up better than Big Cass. Built up better than the Big Show.
Well, because
built up bigger.
He was built up better because he was in a feud with Roman Reigns.
No. You really think about it. You think about it.
The building started.
Well, the thing is, they built it up from the ground up. When they started, I mean, he came in with the Wyatts, then he got repackaged and he got put on Raw, and that's when the Ellsworth thing started. That first Raw of the new era last July.
Not forget, he was a Rosebud too. Let's not forget that.
That's right. But his in-ring debut was that night, and thing is, they did a good job. I mean, they had him come up against jobbers. Basically, made him just look dominant. Then he started getting up. I mean, he had matches against Sami Zayn. He had matches against the Big Show that were awesome, great big man matches. In 2017 with the Big Show, Big Show's got some mileage on him. He's older. And the thing is, they've done a great job. He's had good matches with Big Show, good matches with Roman. He's had like I said, I think the money match is Lesnar versus Strowman. And did you see the crowd reaction every time they faced off one-on-one? When it was just Lesnar and Strowman in the ring, and how pissed off they were when Reigns and Joe jumped in and interrupted. And it was so cool because the part where Lesnar was going to try and suplex Strowman, and the ooh and ah of the crowd when he couldn't do it, when he got blocked. I just thought it was great. I thought basically, I'm gonna tell you, even though Strowman did not win this match, it was basically the Braun Strowman showcase. It was Braun just mowing through guys. I mean, not only did he put Lesnar through a table, he put him through 2 tables, and he tipped a table onto him. And right when that happened and Lesnar got put on the stretcher, I said, Lesnar is going to come back and he's going to win. I did pick Brock to win this match in our prediction show on Tuesday, and I felt good about doing that. That and the Oscar prediction of her retaining the title were the two predictions that I felt the most confident in, and I was right on both. And the Sasha one was my wild card pick, and that ended up working for me. But like I said, Brock did great. I was not. I agree with you, DJ. You said that you weren't really mad with Brock retaining. I was mad when Brock retained against Joe because I thought Joe, even though I knew Brock was going to win, I wanted Joe. I got caught up. I became a fan, and that's one thing I can say about this match tonight. I became a fan. Like, I didn't look at it as somebody analyzing wrestling. I was looking at it as a fan, where I was openly cheering for Strowman. I actually was saying, "Come on, Strowman!" When Strowman, did the power slam to Lesnar on the two tables and tipped the table over him, I actually was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Yeah, come on, Strowman, come on, Strowman." I was really into it. And I had to say one thing, DJ. I was DJing and Casey both. I just want to tell you, the thing I was most surprised with was Lesnar actually F5 pinfall over Reigns. I did not.
I really wasn't that surprised about it.
I didn't expect
I
Reigns.
think I think Reigns loses a lot more than
He
anyone will
does
say.
lose a lot. He loses a lot more, and you really think about it. He had the belt. The three times he's had the belt, he's had it for a grand total of like maybe like 3.5 months. He's had it three times. He had it for all 5 minutes the first time. Second time he had it for less than a month, and then the third time he had it for only 2 months because he got popped for some. What did he take that he got suspended for?
Oh,
Was it Adderall?
it might have been.
I think it was something about some ADD medicine. I think, I but like I said, I was very impressed with this match tonight. I thought everybody in this match looked good.
Yeah.
Everybody. And you mentioned this to DJ too, and you were so right. It was one of the most well built main events I've seen in a while, where all four guys looked good, even in the three guys who lost looked good in defeat. Brock looked like he escaped with his title,
Yep.
and it made Brock look like a killer. It made Joe look good. Joe was, choking guys out almost, and you had Strowman just completely dominate, and Reigns looked like he always does. He looked solid. Like he is a. That's one thing I can say. Reigns might not be the most loved guy in the world, but the guy is solid as a main eventer. Like I said, the only thing is I think he's in the wrong alignment. But that's neither here nor there. I'm tired of talking about that because they'll never turn him heel until they really just decide the hell with it. We give up.
See,
But
I feel like I feel like when we look at Braun Strowman and Nia Jax, who both kind of started in the same way, as far as when they really started to get going on the main roster as singles competitors, they started with jobbers. The difference between Braun Strowman and Nia Jax is Nia Jax hasn't found her Roman Reigns yet.
no, she has not. That is a great point. She does not have. She doesn't have somebody or foil or somebody that really she can have good chemistry with. That's the thing I can say. That is one of the most unlikely feuds of the year candidates has been Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
That's been one of the better feuds of the year. And honestly, if somebody would have told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have been very skeptical. And I think that it's been a great feud. Like I said, I hope they give it a little bit of a break just because they've been doing it so much, and you would rather keep it fresh instead of keep going back to the well too often. Just look at Sasha and Charlotte last year. And I mean, just to kind of give it a little bit of a break and then come back to it maybe sometime at the beginning of next year around WrestleMania. Just give it a little bit of a break. But you see, that's a dilemma we have now with Lesnar winning the championship. This is the drawback to Lesnar retaining the belt. We won't see Lesnar again for a while.
Yeah.
He probably won't defend the belt until maybe Survivor Series, maybe. Survivor Series. And like I said, I don't know how you feel, Casey, but I really hope Lesnar actually is going to be booked for something between now and Survivor Series, just because I'm tired. I mean, like I said, I'm glad he's defended the belt in the last two pay-per-views for Raw, but I feel like we should see more of him instead of not seeing him at all for almost a couple months.
Casey, you
Yeah.
got any thoughts on the main events?
This match was awesome. Um, awesome spear through the barricade on Lesnar by Reigns. I
That was a
definitely like
six spear.
Strowman out here just murdering everybody, killing fools. Strowman power slamming Lesnar through the announce table was epic. Um, he was savage tonight. First slamming Lesnar through the announce table, then throwing the chair at Reigns and Joe, then slamming Lesnar through a second announce table, and then the fans chant one more table. So he goes over and lifts the announce table and pushes it over on top of Lesnar. I love the chant, the fans singing "na na na na, hey hey, goodbye." I thought that was funny. Um, awesome match. Not necessarily happy about Lesnar retaining, just because, and we've said this many times. I'm tired of the part-time champion. I to yes, Lesnar is great. He is one of the most legit badasses that they have. Hey, it doesn't matter. To build up a title, we have to see it. I enough. I personally feel like,
Yeah, I
especially
agree. I agree 100%.
yeah, especially for it being a newer title, you still have to
Yeah,
build it up and build up that prestige. I and you can't do that when your champion only shows up to X amount of shows a year.
yeah. The thing is, like, I really wish that Lesnar. I mean, I'm not saying I want Lesnar to show up to every single Monday Night Raw every single week. Like, at least show up at least once or twice a month. It's a little ridiculous
Well,
sometimes that we just didn't see him between WrestleMania. Did he even show up the night after WrestleMania?
I don't I don't think he did, but there is something to him showing up when he does. Like I
It
still
does
feel
mean
like
something.
yeah, there is something big about when Brock Lesnar does finally show up. Like it is cool. It's still a cool moment. I've always not been a fan of it being with the title involved because we don't get to see it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's the reason
so
why I kind of felt a little like uneasy when Goldberg won the belt at Fastlane back in early March. I was like, oh crap, they're putting the belt back on Lesnar again. And it
yeah.
was cool the first time he won the belt since his second return, and he won it back at SummerSlam 3 years ago against Cena. You know, it was kind of cool just because he had some good matches, especially that awesome triple threat match at the Royal Rumble 2015 between him and Cena and Rollins, which I thought was one of the better matches of that entire year, other than pretty much the entire series of matches that Cena had in the U.S. Open Challenge. And it was really awesome, but was very disappointed. Like I said, I loved the match. Match was great. I just was very disappointed. I was really kind of hoping, even though I knew Brock was going to find a way to win, I was hoping that somebody would win the belt, anybody. Because really, you think about it, it's kind of funny. Casey, you mentioned, the Brock's one of the legit badasses, but I think they got two badasses, actually three badasses, on that weren't named Brock Lesnar in that match too, and two
Yeah.
guys who I think should have been champion, who will be champion sooner rather than later, and Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman, and a guy who will be champion probably at the end of WrestleMania next year, and Roman Reigns.
See, I
And
I want to see a Roman Reigns Samoa Joe feud. That like
A
we
proper one, a proper feud.
yeah, we joke about the Samoan heritage thing and how Samoans are booked and everything,
Uh
but
huh.
like when they were going back and forth about Reigns not just calling him Joe and like the disrespect aspect of that, like
Uh
you're
huh.
not, you're not Samoa Joe to me. Like that was awesome, and they should run with that because that would be really cool, really good.
Also, what I like is how Paul Heyman, every time he mentions Samoa Joe, he always says that he's the Samoan that the Samoans don't want to claim and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Basically, just dissing Samoa Joe, act like all the what I like to call the Rock's family that doesn't claim him or anything like that. It's really good, and like I said, I've really dug this. This kind of. The only problem is I really think that it deserved a longer build. This Fatal Four Way match, I think it deserved a longer build because I love the Brock Joe feud going into Great Balls of Fire. I thought that was great, and but it was well connected. That's the thing, and I think that I mentioned earlier that the match that I think should be one of the main matches at WrestleMania next year is Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. I think
yeah, I definitely.
Braun should be the guy who retires and gets rid of Brock.
That would be a good like passing the torch type thing too.
Yeah, because
But
Braun really, honestly, he has a future, and I think the guy to be a big man. Did you see that drop kick he gave
yeah,
tonight? Holy crap, that's pretty impressive for a guy who looks like the monster among men. He looks like a big mountain. He's just a
yeah,
big guy. It's just unbelievable to see a near 400-pound man try to throw a drop kick.
yeah,
You don't see that. I don't really think anybody's done that since Andre, or possibly Big Show when he was in WCW.
yeah. But I guess that was your review for SummerSlam. I think it was a pretty good discussion we had. Um, I'm coming out here with the alternative opinions, but
Well, no, well, yeah, honestly, every one of your opinions I agree with except gender.
which is shameful. But anyway, we're gonna end this. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Also subscribe to the channel. It's one click or 3 clicks or 5 clicks. Odd numbers. We keep the odd numbers around. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Be sure to find the Facebook page as well. It's down in the description if you need it. If you haven't liked it already, we'll see you guys next time. We hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks, Brandon, for joining us, and Casey, obviously, he was he was here. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was your SummerSlam review. Also, go check out the episode 2 of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. It's amazing and it's worth watching. So we will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed.